Hey everybody, it's Eric from the Mature Minded Gamers Group. Today we're bringing you our podcast for Star Trek Lower Decks Season 2, Episode 3, titled We'll Always Have Tom Paris. This is going to be brought to you by Eric, Will, and Brad. Let's get into it right now.
Did I miss anything up to this point? I mean, I'm only like 3 minutes into the episode, but did I miss any Easter eggs that you guys caught?
No.
I don't think so.
Cool. All right. Well, we find out a few minutes later that Shax is back, our favorite Bajoran. Anybody see that coming? Because I certainly didn't.
No.
I think I predicted it, back when he died, but I didn't really think it was going to happen. It's one of those deals.
Like all of a sudden, very Kenny from South Park like.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to find a way to say that every single episode, by the way.
Did you like how they played off that whole trope of dying and coming back? Like it was normal.
Yeah.
And they just kept it going too.
Yeah, Boimler was like, "Yeah, they're bridge crew. They always come back."
Right. I think everybody said that, Mariner and everybody. Do you think we're at,
so? Well, the only person who thought it was a big deal was Rutherford.
So, and I'm gonna be honest. I think this is gonna lead up to why he's gonna reset his memory because he can't handle knowing this truth at the end of the season. Boom, reset, just like I said.
So you think every season Rutherford's gonna reset?
Yep. I mean, how I predicted that last year. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember that, but
I think I think this season that's gonna be the reason. And I almost hope they don't play it out to where it's bothering him so much every season, but maybe like episode 6 they bring it in where he's still struggling with that knowledge, and then maybe episode 8 they bring it up once, and then at the end, bam, he's like, I can't handle this anymore. I got to reset, and he resets his memory.
That may require like something happening, like I don't know, someone else dying and coming back, or maybe him dying and experience everything that that Shax had talked to him about. I don't know. I mean, we're only in episode 3 and he's already kind of freaking out. So I wonder if that's going to last all season or not, if you think that that's going to happen.
So are we going to have a Tasha Yar Worf scenario where we kind of have 2 security officers almost for a little bit? I mean, I think Worf was... What was Worf doing? He was doing something else before he became security officer. Ops or something? What the hell was he doing?
He was on Khan for season 1. Right. So he was up front on Khan where Data normally sits. For season 1, when Tasha Yar was around.
Before we had Wesley Crusher sitting up there.
Yeah, we'd have some no-namer on one of them, and then Worf on the other, which he always looked awkward and not in the right place. But Boimler keeps calling Voyager Voy. You guys ever hear anybody call it Voy?
You want to know? Well, you want to know what's great is Mariner brought that up, or I think it was Mariner, and she's like, that is easier to say. I was like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, but I'm not. I'm never going to call it Voy.
It will always be known as Voy from now on. Okay, Will.
No, it's Voyager. Voyager.
Voy is your favorite season, isn't it?
No, Voyager is not my favorite series. Deep Space Nine is. Anyway,
we'll just call it Deep from now on.
The D, yeah, okay. Something felt very right about Boimler being a Voyager fanboy and having a trunk to carry all of his commemorative plates that he's gotten signed. Said he's gotten everybody from Janeway to Harry Kim.
So my wife's mother, or grandma and grandpa, that's what
your
they
wife's
did.
Mother-in-law is your wife, just in case you didn't know that.
Thank you, Brad. So anyways, her grandma and grandpa traveled, and they would get a plate from every state. And so I've experienced actual collected plates before. It's something. It's when I add that in.
Well, yeah. I don't know. All in all, this kind of felt right. Like, it seems like him geeking out over this and that. I mean, he was geeking out over the Titan and Riker during first season. So what if that continues to be the trope for him, and this whole season he's like, all about Tom Paris and the crew of Voyager, and then he ends up on Voyager or the Delta Quadrant at the end of the season? What if he is going to be on Star Trek Prodigy, and this is how they get him there?
I like your crazy theory right there. I don't think it's going to happen, but I like that you're going there. You keep that ambition with those theories.
Well, I'm going to keep that enthusiasm for Boimler being and something. And I'm telling you right now, how cool would it be if we got a live action Jack Quaid in Discovery or Picard
Jack
as
Quaid.
Boimler?
I mean, that would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie,
Dude. Even if that were just like a like background Easter egg or something, him walking through with Boimler's uniform on, doing something stupid or like tripping over a rock or something, and those of us, Boimler fans are gonna be like, "Oh, dude, it's him."
they should totally do that. Now that you said that, if you're listening,
Yeah.
anybody who has any kind of power, which
Yeah.
I hope
I'm gonna write into. So I also listen to another podcast called the Delta Flyers, where they're going through. It's Robbie Duncan McNeil and Garrett Wong, the Tom Paris and Harry Kim going back through Voyager and talking about like their time on and basically doing what we're doing, but since they're professional actors, doing it a lot better, and because they're professional actors, they're getting paid for it. Where we're 3 years of doing podcasting, and I noticed our anchor numbers are like in the 20s. So, anyway, they.
wait, hold on. That's a great segue. Hey, don't forget to share this podcast with your friends, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening, help us keep growing the community here at the MMG. We want to be, we would be in the 40 range by the end of the season. It's our target, right?
Yeah, the 20 was in dollars we've raised, and the. Oh, okay. I meant viewership, like 20,000.
There you go. No. I mean, don't lie that much. That sounds like we're actually good.
Gosh,
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't do embellishment right either. I'm doing it too little or too much. So,
Right. You know what? And
Sorry.
I've realized now, just from hearing you speak, that you are Brad Boimler. You're like the ultimate fanboy, and that's why you relate to him so much, right?
well, I wouldn't say I'm ultimate fanboy. No, wait a second. I have never shown up to anything dressed as anything Star Trek. The most I've worn outside of here, aside from a T-shirt you got me, was the insignia Will got me for being in his wedding crew. What do you call it? The wedding party. His away mission. team.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
I like flying my geek flag. I mean, if you're embarrassed by it, I guess I understand.
Well, I'm not embarrassed by it. I just don't. I don't have a Starfleet uniform. I do have
the tattoo
Starfleet.
that you have in your ass.
I do have Starfleet socks.
We should all get tattoos of pips.
I
No, you're
okay.
in,
I'm
in.
not going to.
You're
I'm
in.
not going to disregard that one. Well, what position am I then? How many pips do I get?
Your Boimler's position. Ensign.
Ensign? I'm not
Yeah.
ensign. There's no way that I'm a freaking ensign.
I mean, we'd all have to be captains, right?
No.
What are you going to be, first officer?
You can't have a group full of captains. That's like the most boring show ever known.
Oh no, we've never seen one like that.
Well, we never will either because it sucks. It's
called
gonna
the-
suck.
It's called the Captain's
Too many
Log. Already got the name. Now let's move on. We're getting way off topic here. Continue. With
Whatever,
the
who
episode.
cares? We're just here having fun. Okay, so we've got the plates. Where are we at now? Tendi gets to go on a side mission for her boss. It's I can't remember the cat's name. Ta'ar, is that right?
The doctor.
The doctor. Okay, so he's out on a side mission. She's on a side mission to go to Kalar 2 on a to retrieve something from her storage shed, basically. And she invites Mariner to go with her to have a girls' trip. And and dude, I don't know if you guys noticed it. Like on the way in, like the first time I watched this episode, as they're landing on
Quarks.
Kalar 2, like that, yeah, quarks. But then if you the second time through, I noticed Vic Fontaine's got one there. And now I forget. I even think there might have been one called 10 Forward. I don't remember, but I do remember seeing Vic Fontaine's and quarks. And then like literally moments later, like as he's listening to the Klingon music, which was playing the whole time, and I definitely heard that as Klingon music. He called it the band Geek Tall, which is a throwback to a Voyager episode as well.
Boy, episode.
What episode of Boy was that?
It was the episode where the doctor tries to run the simulation to have a family, so he understands what it's like to have a family, and his son was listening to his son was trying to do the Geek Towel ceremony, and I think they might have called the music Geek Towel or something like that. Anyway, it's from that episode. I just remember that. But yeah, so much throwback in this entire like series of moments here.
So let me ask you guys a question about that real quick.
Okay.
So, not to throw too much of a topic, when we talk about throwbacks, have you guys felt that so far in this season, the throwbacks don't feel as forced? Like I feel like in the first
totally
season,
opposite.
Really, I feel like in the first season it was it felt like the Family Guy. Oh, remember the time when, and then a throwback. Oh, you remember this person when, and then throwback, and then I don't know. It just felt like it was constant throwing out names in the first season, and then this season it doesn't feel as if it's as forced for throwbacks or call outs like Quarks and Vic Fontaine and what have you.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they've just gotten better about it and a bit, but I thought this whole episode was like total fan service. There was nothing about this episode that wasn't a throwback or reference to something.
It wasn't as fed down your throat.
I literally have in my notes down here
names
at the very somewhere in my notes we'll get to here after a bit was how forced everything felt in this episode.
See, I feel exactly the opposite. I don't feel it's as if they may be showing it, but they're not like calling out the names just to get people's reactions.
Okay, look, let's see here. Let's go ahead and move forward a little bit, and then we'll get there. So, all right, where are we at here in my notes? Which is so we find that what she's actually getting out of this storage unit is a Cation libido statue, which evidently is because every year the Cation, the cat, race has to mate, otherwise they go crazy. So it's just like Ponfar. So I don't know, that seemed forced to continue to further my evidence here.
Whoa, have you ever been around a cat that's like in heat?
No, I get my cats fixed.
Okay, well I have, and I'll be honest, I'm gonna assume the Vulcan thing actually came from the way cats act. Like when they originally thought up something for Vulcans, like they are all over you, like trying to rub up against you and like purring like crazy. It's a little crazy. And so I thought that was actually a really good comparison, or whatever you want to call it.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe you're right. Okay, so now that doesn't feel so much like a forced reference or anything, but the fact that she said something similar to Ponfar, I guess, is what made my mind immediately go towards, oh, look, another species that goes nuts if they don't get it every year. Like, okay. Okay, I'll let that one go. They did mention here for a moment that Mariner was on DS9, that she served on DS9. And that she broke Worf's mechlith.
Well, she's talked about Worf a couple times. So remember, I think we talked about maybe Worf coming on the show or when they could have worked together before.
No, I think you're thinking about a Picard episode about us talking about Worf coming on the show. Either that or that's just another one of your things of just hoping that Worf is going to be on everything we watch.
I mean, it is. But I do think she referenced him in season 1.
Best Star Trek character. Anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Time out. Best Star Trek character ever? You think Worf is the best Star Trek character out of all the series?
I thoroughly love Worf.
He's a really good character. Not my favorite, but he's really good.
So who's your favorite? This feels like an appropriate time to ask that question. Who's your favorite?
Are we counting captains, or are we going non-captains?
We're counting all of them. Every character in Star Trek.
I mean, you guys are gonna hate me, man, but Pike, I freaking love him. I think Pike was
Bolt of the new.
He nailed the captain spot. I know we only got one season of him, but he was amazing.
What do you mean we only got one season out of him?
Or
We don't know that.
well, I mean, until New World
So
comes out.
far.
Yeah.
So far.
I just thought he did a great job, and like it was crazy because I would have never thought anybody could have probably beat Picard for me. But man, I just loved his character. I thought he did a great job. I liked how he trusted his. We're going off topic again, but anyways, he's my favorite.
Well, we're going to stay off topic for a minute here. Will, who is your favorite character in all of Trek?
I just told you, Worf.
Oh, that's right. That's how we got all this started, was you saying that. Okay.
I love that you listen to me, Bradley Breedlove.
What? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
So who's your favorite, Brad?
Well, yeah, we're waiting.
For me to say my favorite? Now I don't want to.
All right, so moving on.
Nog.
Because of his character arc.
Nog?
Dude, I like the Ferengi. I call me crazy, but I like almost every one of the Ferengi episodes in Deep Space Nine, which is why I was a little bummed that we didn't make it all the way or plow all the way through to those episodes, because I had some things to say. I freaking love the Ferengi. I mean, I like the DS9 Ferengi, not the Next Generation Ferengi. I thought the ones from Next Generation were a little weak, except, well, anyway, I won't go there. But like Deep Space Nine, pretty much all of them. Quark was my least favorite, but all the others. Liquidator Brunt, freaking love Jeffrey Combs. Everything he plays. Quark. Liquidator Brunt is, I actually rolled a D&D character based off of Liquidator Brunt. Had so much fun with that character.
So I agree, but I do think Quark was the best Ferengi, though. Like,
no, he was a great character overall, but as far as Ferengi, no, he wasn't a great Ferengi.
Oh, I felt like he was like the most authentic Ferengi. Like every time I think of a Ferengi, I think of somebody like Quark, greedy.
See, I can see why you like Nog.
I can't think of his cousin's name right now.
Well, I mean, his cousin was kind of slow, and I think Ferengis are more quick-witted.
Shoot, I don't know. I can't remember. Or the Grand Nagus. Come on now, the Nagus.
His ears, man.
I love the Nagus. Okay, now we're way off topic. Okay, bringing us back around. We get back to, we're back on the Cerritos now.
It's Rom, by the way, for our listeners. Rom.
So, hold on real quick. Seriously?
What do you mean, Rom? Who are you talking about, Rom? Rom's not his cousin. Rom's his brother.
Yeah, know what you're saying?
No, I said his cousin.
Oh, his cousin.
His cousin's the one that sold him the ship, and that turned around to be, it was supposed to blow up when he tried to go back to Earth, and it took him back into time. They always cousin K. It starts with a C Gala? Or a K sound, huh?
Gala.
Cousin Gala. It is. It's Cousin Gala. Yeah, he is a Ferengi. That's like characteristic Ferengi right there.
See, anyway, I think one of the reasons I agree with your assessment of liking Nog because of his character arc. I mean, he wants to be better than his dad. Mm-hmm. Right, and he goes from being pushed around. He goes from being a standard Ferengi.
Very characteristically Ferengi to bettering himself, being a part of the Federation, and then the tragedy from him losing his leg and the character development that came through that, and him spending time with Vic, him becoming better friends with Jake, and kind of all of that going on, like just the whole character development of Nog is why I like Nog. That's a whole nother episode. We'll get there sometime.
Is he seriously your favorite, or are you just picking him out of Deep Space Nine? Over every character.
He is one of my. Yeah, he is my favorite right now in this moment. Yes, he's my favorite.
I would have probably.
Will that change? Yes, it absolutely will. The show always like it. I haven't watched Deep Space Nine in a long time, so it makes me a little bit, misty-eyed for Deep Space Nine right now.
You should watch one of the good series, but whatever. Move on.
Like Boy. Boy's a good one.
Boy's a good one.
Okay, so we're back on the Cerritos, and we're in engineering. Rutherford's doing his thing in engineering, and Shaxs walked up. And Rutherford is going to burst if he does not ask how he came back. So he leans into it, starts to ask when some no-namer comes in and takes the place. Thank God, because that dude got booted out of engineering, which I thought was hilarious. Let's see.
I just want to point out that they mentioned racquetball, which is my favorite recreational sport.
Yeah. Hey, yeah, I was just going to ask, how do you hit a racquetball? With a racket. Great, thanks.
Have they ever
Yeah.
talked about racquetball? And I thought it was some other sport that they played on the Next Generation.
No. Julian and O'Brien played racquetball. It didn't look like our racquetball, but they did play racquetball.
O'Brien, now that's a character. O'Brien, that's a character.
That is a character.
Brian's good.
Much better than
O'Brien's good. That's why in last season they had a statue of him as being the best engineer.
Right. No, it was like the most important person in the universe.
Most important.
Yeah.
Non-officer or something like that. I don't know.
7 of 9 coming from Boy and then going to Picard.
Her and Picard, she is pretty wicked in Picard, but she's still not my favorite.
I cannot wait to see what season 2 is going to bring for her.
Yeah. Anyway, we're watching Lower Decks now, not Picard. So, okay. So I just one more bone to pick with this episode here. How many storylines do we have going on in this episode? It felt like we had at least a dozen, and as I was watching it earlier, I couldn't keep track of them. No, there was 3. You're right. There's 3. Which one's the primary one? Which is the primary story?
Which is the primary story in any of this show?
I mean, they split it, man. This is completely different, but I mean, definitely Mariner and Tendy's trip is primary.
See, that's funny you said that. I felt like the primary story was Brad Boimler taking his
favorite character
to Tom Paris. Like, I have that in my notes here as being the A story arc, the B story arc being Tendi and Mariner, and the C story arc being Rutherford and Shax.
We got 60% Tendi and Mariner, 20% Boimler, 20% of Rutherford's little issue.
For those of you that are just listening, because we don't record this as a video podcast, which is probably a good thing. We've got a lot less people watching. Anyway, Eric is looking at a screen as though he's looking at an Excel spreadsheet right now that he's actually broken out the time for each one of these. So, are you looking at an Excel spreadsheet right now?
I would never do anything like that, Brad.
Do you have a pivot table for the amount of time that each character is on screen for this episode?
Maybe.
Okay. Yes, that tracks. So now we are back with Tendi and Mariner again. They're on Bontel, which this whole thing right here, okay, this is a fan servicey part that I actually thought was pretty dang funny or pretty dang good. It's a deep hole, but this is the same bar playing the same game with the same race of people that Picard got shanked on back in Next Generation. Did you guys catch that?
I did know it was the same bar, but I knew it was the same type and same species at least.
The Nausicans, yep.
Yeah.
Playing Domjot. And it was because Picard hustled him.
Right.
Picard pretended he wasn't as good and then hustled him, and that's why he got stabbed.
No, the Nausicans say he cheated.
He cheated.
Right.
Just like she did. Just like Mariner tried to get Tendi to do with the pheromones.
Right.
So I thought that was pretty awesome. More fan service, but this one was a good one.
He even tried to shank her, didn't he?
But yeah, they tried to start the fight pretty much in the same series of events that Picard would have too. So I don't know. I liked that. That sequence was pretty quick because we've got 3 storylines going in a 30-minute episode. These have to bounce around pretty quickly.
12, Brad.
They did say they were 12, but that's called metaphor. So we are back on the Cerritos again. This time we're on the bridge, and we're approaching what to me was the primary story arc. Boimler getting his plate signed. Tom Paris comes onto the bridge. He's wearing the normal bridge uniform, which I guess just being the nerd here in the group. I wondered why is it the Cerritos has a different. I thought they were wearing just the updated version of the uniform, but come to find out that it dawned on me that the Titan wear the gray topped collar collared uniforms just like Tom Paris is here. So I don't know if there's any point or rhyme or reason to that, but just something I noticed.
You don't even own a Trek uniform. You can't really call yourself a nerd, Brad. Just saying.
He does own the Trek uniform. He just has never gone to a convention cosplay.
So this really felt like a good part of the episode where Tom Paris is he felt like a part of the bridge crew again. Like he just really felt like Tom Paris.
He's ignoring the comment.
He
like
was really
more of a friend than the two guys I'm doing this episode with.
He was really excited to get to that helm. He even referenced something about the Cerritos. I can't remember what he said. Something about...
He said their engines purr like a kitten.
Yeah, there you go.
But
it didn't last long, because then the scene cut out, right?
Yeah, well, we go to the fact that he fires up the engines. It does a thing, tries to roast Boimler. Boimler burns his plate. And that's pretty much it. Then we're back on to...
the engine, right?
Huh?
Which would put out the engine, right? But we never.
Yeah, you're right. They did play that. Like I didn't get. I mean, the fact they just moved over to the next storyline again. So I don't know. Who knows what happened?
What storyline is that? Is that 7? Huh? Is that storyline number 7?
Yeah, that feels about right. So we're back. We're on the pirate colony, the Orion pirate colony now.
Wait! You missed one of my favorite lines in this entire episode.
What was that?
When Tendi is talking about how the Orions are seen in Starfleet as pirates and thieves.
Yeah. I did forget you saying that. Okay, tell us about it.
And then she goes, she's like, "Oh wait, I've got my cousin. He's a thief, and there's this pirate colony that he's at." I thought this was the funniest line I thought was in the entire episode because that's how Starfleet views him, and that's exactly what she just called him. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, and then on the planet, right? Like we find out Tendi can actually be a badass pirate.
Right? Yeah. she's Devana, the what was she called? The mistress of winter constellations.
Yeah.
Do we know why their naming scheme works like that?
No, I don't. I know almost nothing about the Orions. They're totally an original series race, and they're only really referenced in Next Generation.
Wait a minute. They're
in Voyager now.
Discovery.
Or
they were in Boy.
Yeah. Wait, where are they at in Voyager?
Not Voyager. I meant to say Discovery. Sorry.
They're on Enterprise. They're on Discovery.
Watch Enterprise. I've never watched Enterprise since the first run through. I need to watch it again.
They're on the reboot, the Kelvin universe.
You know what?
But they're also on the original series.
I watched the reboot there from J.J. Abrams there, like the 2013 reboot, the original.
Yeah.
That was a damn good movie. I forgot how good that movie was.
Yeah, it is pretty good.
Yeah,
I liked it. Anyway, we could do a whole episode dedicated to that. Maybe we will one of these days. We should. Because I could talk about that. There's a lot about that I liked. So
it was really good. I forgot how good it was. I think are they still making a third one or fourth one? I think
fourth one. No, it's been paused.
It got canceled. Then I thought it came back. I don't know where it's at. Anyways, continue on. So we're on the pirate planet. We got that.
Yeah, we're on the pirate planet. She's evidently some kind of royalty in the Orion. She's Devana, the mistress of winter constellations. I don't remember that anybody has ever called her Devana. She said that was her first name, like and held it against Mariner. But I don't think we even knew that. I don't think anybody's ever called her Devana. They've only called her Tendi. So that was a revelation there.
What about when Mariner was like saying how her cousin was really sexy and Tendi was all about like, oh, I thought you had it for Boimler. She goes, no, he's like a pet. He's like, you pet.
That was pretty funny.
Punk. I was like, that's what's gonna happen. I still call in that one.
Yeah, they're probably gonna do the dang thing, but moreover on this, I hope that they spend more time with her being the mistress of winter constellations. I think we're going to end up back on Orion somewhere, and she's going to be like royalty of some sort, like actually treated as royalty. So that's what I'm hoping.
They were after pretty quickly after that.
Yeah, well, I mean that's because she was harboring somebody who wasn't Orion, though.
That'd be cool. I'd like to see that episode. I like seeing the badass Tendi.
Let's see. Yeah. So that doesn't last real long. Mariner's disguise starts to wear off. The relationship begins to fall apart. We're now back to Boimler.
That's not the only thing that's falling apart.
His shirt. and
No,
Boimler's
the
sanity at that moment.
The cat totem. That's what I meant.
The cat totem. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Good call. Sorry, I missed that. Anyway, Boimler is starting to hallucinate now, and Tom Paris on the plate is starting to talk to Boimler. Which, yeah, that was pretty good. And even Plate Paris makes reference to the fact that he's talking to a plate. Two muffins sitting in an oven. One muffin looks at the other and says, "Man, it's getting hot in here." And the second one says, "It's a talking muffin." Anyway, Shax is getting into a turbo lift when Rutherford runs up and Shax goes, "Hey, what's going on, baby bear?" I don't know what. Every time I saw that, I had this same reaction. It cracks me up.
Why did he call him that?
I have no idea. It doesn't matter. It's still hilarious. Hey there, baby bear. Oh, God.
What would have had to do with, remember Rutherford was going to go be on Shax's security team?
Yeah. Maybe he called him baby bear back then, too, but
right.
It cracked me up.
I don't remember, so could be.
Shax tells him the reason they don't talk about the ways they come back is because of how dark it is and whatnot. And Rutherford's just like, "Yeah, I'm in." I don't know. Rutherford might be my second favorite character in this show, especially because Eric can't say it right.
Rutherford.
So we're back to Boimler. Again, he's looking a little more crazy, a little more tan, a little more torn. Actually, like a Kazon. So when he drops down into the bridge, and Tom Paris yells, Kazon, and starts to pummel him, I thought that was pretty good.
He did. They did a good job making him look like that.
Yeah, that was another fan servicey thing that I thought was pretty funny. Except when, so for me, I get the commercials, but so they cut to commercial right then, and as soon as they come back to commercial, he's like, "This is how we do it in the Delta Quadrant," plop, and then punches him in the face, which I thought was a dumb line. Could have done without that one.
That was the Kazon anyway.
They're like the first main villain they ran into, weren't they?
Yep. Yeah.
And Boy.
Yeah. Voyager. If you want to save time with Voyager, call it V'ger.
Boy is better.
Boy's
Save so much time.
The whole syllable you're missing there.
So let's see. We're wrapping up the episode now.
So real quick, we haven't really talked about it, but the whole what's his name? Security guy coming back to life, right?
Shax.
The whole time they're referencing different parts about that only happens when you're
brought it back.
Yeah, they reference every time anybody's ever been brought back to life. Like I thought.
Well, except for the one where they said micro robots brought him back and contained him inside a mini Dyson sphere to harvest his power. That did not make any sense whatsoever with Trek technology. Come on, let's be realistic.
I like the Mirror Universe quote.
No, like Discovery when we had what's his face. What was his name? The guy we thought was going to be the originator of the Borg.
Oh, Control?
Yeah, what was his name?
Yeah, but they didn't try to contain him in a mini Dyson sphere. Come on now.
Did they?
No.
Did they not? How many's the Dyson sphere?
Huh?
We don't know.
I thought he was powered by a Dyson sphere.
The only thing that okay, look. Dyson spheres only work if they're containing a star.
Didn't that what happened to Spock?
No, that's what happened to Scotty. Scotty's ship crashed into a Dyson sphere.
Okay. So it has happened then.
No. Okay, the Dyson sphere in that episode literally called Star Trek Next Generation episode Relics. Go look it up and watch it. It's a great episode. Scotty is on his way to a retirement community when his ship stumbles upon a Dyson sphere. He gets curious. They go up and check it out, and when they hail it, it tries to bring them in, which then causes problems with the mini ship. It crashes, and he sticks himself into a pattern buffer on the transporter and stays there for 30 or 40 years.
Okay, Men in Black. So Men in Black, the little cat, has a little universe. Is that a Dyson sphere?
Oh my gosh. No, that's not a Dyson sphere. A Dyson sphere takes a sun or a star, builds a thing around it, and then people live on the inside layer of the Dyson sphere while it collects the energy and radiation from the sun to power itself.
So Eric,
that's actually a legitimate like theoretical thing. Like Star Trek just didn't yank this out of nowhere.
So the thing in Men in Black, it was a whole entire galaxy that was on Orion's belt. So that was actually more powerful than a Dyson sphere.
Yeah.
I was just trying
to it's also very similar to the micro world in Rick and Morty, where Rick has convinced that whole micro world of people to bounce up and down to create power. No? Do you guys don't watch that show?
I love Rick and Morty, yes.
So, and then they create another micro world that creates another micro world. And so we're like going on Inception there on that one. So maybe we should do a Rick and Morty podcast. Anyway, Mariner learns 2 things about Tendi. One is she's a good person, and 2, her plans suck. And so she takes the ship, the shuttlecraft. This was actually pretty good, I thought too. Ramming speed and rams into the Cerritos and just pinks off the
shield.
The shield. Damage report, none. Well, that was weird.
Yeah, I thought that was good too, because it showed the Mariner, was there to help her friend no matter what. And so she just took the blame for it.
And then right after that point, that's a pull from something that wasn't Star Trek whatsoever. She goes, it was bees. Tommy boy all the way there. Bees! Ah! So I thought that was funny, obviously. So, didn't really have much else past that point. I mean, we got to see her in the brig again for the 2nd episode in a row.
No. The best part. What the hell was the thing in the box? What was the box for? That was my favorite
I forgot about
episode. That. So it takes the box. The doctor comes in, just says, "Oh, I don't care about what's inside. I just want the box." Fucking true cat nature crawls up in the box. Says, "Oh yeah, that's the shit right there." Right. I loved it, man. It's exactly what my cats do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Didn't care about anything in the box. They only wanted the box.
Right. Could have saved their entire dilemma, but it did bring the 2 of them, I feel, closer together.
Yeah, for sure.
Because, I mean, that's very, very accurate, because so far we haven't really seen any engagement between Tendi and Mariner. And this is really the first time that they've alone done something.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We also really haven't seen too much of Rutherford and Mariner.
Oh, that either.
Mariner do anything. It's really, if Rutherford's in the episode, he's really just doing something with Tendi, or he's on his own, right? Or he's doing something with Shax, or was in the first season. And then Boimler just does stuff with Mariner. So this is really the first time we're kind of branching out from that. We have the core group, but they're kind of paired up. So,
yep,
it's gonna be interesting.
It will be interesting. Wonder if they're going to continue down that process going forward. So.
This could have been a great
pairing up weird people.
Rutherford and Boimler to be able to get together and hang out. Boys weekend.
So when is I want to join the inner party of this. I want what's his name? Kaysan from the last one. I want him to be to not be a puppet anymore, for him to come back into the episode.
So the one guy came back in, and when Boimler was trying to open the door,
so
we've seen him again.
Yep.
So what do you think was the reason the doors wouldn't open for Boimler?
Because the security clearance wasn't working after the Pakleds take over.
Well, he said he checked and he had access. I was wondering if it was something to do with like his cloning. But
I figured, well, it could have been, but I was thinking that it was just somebody playing a prank. I thought maybe Jet was playing a prank on him, because remember the last episode he was like, "You're just always talking about Boimler,"
right?
You know what I mean? So I thought maybe he turned off, so that didn't turn out to be a storyline. Well, anything else I missed?
The replicated plant that Boimler got.
A bonsai tree.
Tom Paris and him are going to go hang out in a bar.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I did forget about that. They were going to hang out.
So what did you feel? What did you guys feel about Tom Paris actually being in this epised? You feel like it was really needed, or I mean,
nope.
did it advance the story? Is that the kind of bring in for an original, not original, but a Trek character? Is that kind of how we want to bring in Trek characters?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I thought
for this episode, for this show, yeah, I think so.
Riker was awesome, but
yeah,
I don't know. I really feel like it could have been a cooler story with having Tom Paris in it.
Maybe giving him more reason to be there. I suppose that would have been
right. I mean, because there was literally no reason he was there.
Right.
I think they're going to keep this same pace, and I like it. I think it'd be weird trying to bring in I mean, there's so many Trek characters they can bring in for like a guest appearance where they're just kind of there on the side.
Right.
I think I liked it. Go ahead. I was just going to say I like it. I think they did it right.
Well, so here's the thing: is we got all these original classic Trek actors that are still alive, and I was actually talking to my friend Ben about this a couple weeks ago. Is they have so much potential to go ahead and bring them on as voice actors. There is absolutely nothing stopping some of the older actors from coming in and acting just like what they did with Jonathan Frakes, But they've shown what we have here. They're going to do that Voy series, right, with Janeway.
What a G.
The cartoon, the cartoon one, right?
Yeah, it looks good.
So, I mean, I don't understand. We could have more Next Generation episodes as animated series. Every single one of those actors is still alive. There's no reason I can't imagine they wouldn't want to. It's not like it's not like anybody's really doing anything else, right?
Yeah,
I mean, LeVar Burton's not hosting Jeopardy or anything. So
I mean, I think Riker's pretty busy, and Picard too with his own series. But
they're voice actors.
They're probably afraid it's going to be
Riker does a lot of producing. I mean, he's a big time producer. So is Robbie Duncan McNeil, who was in this episode, I guess. So that's not really.
This is voice acting. This isn't like you don't necessarily have to go out on shoot or anything. You just go to a studio, record some lines and shit. But anyway, what I'm getting at is
the guys that are on it trying to do a podcast with having good quality audio. There's more to it for an episode like this.
Hello, we're not freaking Paramount. Are you Paramount?
I mean, we're also.
I don't have the pocketbook for them. They do.
Did you get ice cream?
So, anyways, let's keep moving forward here. So, I think they're afraid it's going to be like the animated series in the 70s that didn't do very well. And they have so much other Trek that's, I think, is doing well. They still don't really release many numbers, but it must be since they keep producing it, right?
I mean, how popular a Next Generation cartoon series would be, though?
Not just very. I don't want to watch a cartoon. I mean, I would.
What are you watching now?
I would watch it
about now.
Yeah, but what else are they going to do? Times have changed, man. The old Trek doesn't work anymore.
I don't know that I agree with that. I think we could go back to a style of Trek that's like Next Generation.
Nope. You'd be bored.
Well, that's basically what the whole last episode of this was
Boimler
telling Riker that there's an allure, or there's a what was it called? There's the Starfleet that he misses, which is the going around and exploring and doing this kind of thing. I thought that maybe that was a tip that there was going to be another episode or another series kind of like that they that was
Brave New
Alex Kurtzman and the other producers of these shows, like realizing that there's some of us out there that do want a Next Generation. And I mean, I love the big story arc shows like Picard and Discovery and Deep Space Nine. I love it, but I wouldn't mind having something that's a little like lower paced for most of it, that each episode is a self-contained thing.
And also, honestly, it's something a little more family friendly.
Yeah, it is family, and it's more television friendly, which I guess is not something we care about anymore since we're streaming everything. But I don't know.
That's Brave New Worlds. That's what they're doing in Brave New Worlds. You're not going to get anything more, what's the right word, 90s than Brave New World, I don't think.
So you think we'll go more episodic with?
Yeah, they've already said that.
I'm cool with.
Yeah, they've already said that. They have already said that's how it's going to be. Yeah.
Okay.
We know how it's going to end.
No.
Yeah, we do know how it's going to end.
Did you not hear Hugh and Picard? Nothing cannot be changed, or everything can be changed. All you have to do is pop Q in, or Amanda Knox, or any of those.
Anyway.
Well, so what do you guys give this episode? 1 out of 10. Or not 1 out of 10, but scale of 1 to 10.
7.5 for me. I liked it quite a bit. Maybe even an 8.
Why?
It was fun, casual, lots of callbacks. I like the story arc. I like seeing Tindy and Mariner work together. The whole Paris thing was just funny. Honestly, my least favorite part was the whole part with the guy being dead. I don't know. That seemed a little pushed and forced, but we'll see where it goes. It could be fun.
Sure. So,
Okay, well,
last episode, I gave that one a 10. I really, really, really had a lot of fun with that episode. This one, it was good. I can't say that I wouldn't watch this one if it came on the air and I was just had some time to kill it. I just wanted to watch something Trek. Yeah, I would definitely watch this one. I don't think that I would purposefully search it out of so far of all of the episodes for New World. So I'm going to give this one. I'm going to be right there with you. 7, about 7.5. It was good, average. I wouldn't say it takes the cake though, like last episode.
I would have given this one a 5.5 on everything, but I bumped it up to a 6 because of the presence of Tom Paris.
That's the only reason.
I'll be honest. I like Tom Paris in Boy, but he was definitely not my top 3 characters.
We are not making that a thing.
I'm just saying.
We are. It already is.
It's done.
It's canon.
So, who's your favorite character in Boy? Brad, go.
The Doctor.
Second favorite. Doctor's a good one. So, let me change it. Where would Tom Paris fit in? What would you rank him as far as favorite characters in Boy? I don't even know if he'd be in my top 5. I'm just being honest.
He'd be number 5. Number 5.
Will?
I don't like Voyager, so 0. None of them.
He would be over 5 for me, probably. Like, I really liked a lot of the characters. 7 and 9, Janeway, the Doctor, definitely in that mix. I even liked the cook. I didn't even like him at first. What's his name? Not
Neelix.
Kalex. Yeah, Neelix. I didn't like him at first, but he kind of slowly grew on me like a fungus. And I even kind of liked him there towards the end. I don't know. Just I was not a fan of Tom Paris.
Okay. Well,
he was okay. They just didn't do much with him. I don't know. Just
right.
No,
in all honesty,
that I'll agree with. They left a lot on the table with him.
In all honesty, I liked Harry Kim.
I like him too. They didn't do much with him either, but I still liked him better in Paris.
I liked the Vulcan.
Tupac.
Yeah, Tuvok. And Chakotay was okay, but they pressed. I feel like they pressed the Native American thing, spirit, and that kind of stuff just a little bit too much for what I cared about.
I did not like Chakotay at all. That was also my favorite quote. You mentioned it earlier at the end of the episode when Mariner said, "Did you get your bowl signed by Chakotay?" Or I think it's who she said.
Yeah, she did.
I thought that was hilarious.
Chakotay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So 7 and 9 is good. I don't know. I didn't get that far. I need to rewatch all of Voyager and give it another shot. It's just I was in season 2, maybe beginning of season 3, and my mind was beginning to melt because I was just so bored.
Oh, it gets really good.
Voyager shines when you can watch it all back to back. It did not go well when it was a every week episode. If you can just sit there and plow through it, it's better.
Well, I can understand that because when I first tried to watch DS9, I felt the same way. But plowing through it, it's so good. So anyway,
well, I think that about wraps it up for us tonight. I don't know our standard exit call sign, so Eric, go for it.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Don't forget to check out the rest of our content on maturemindedgamers.com. We do video games, board games, Star Trek, D&D, a little bit of everything on there. You can find the link in the description below. Join our Discord and chat with us. Thanks for listening and have yourself a great night.